Hey guys, what's up? So today, on this episode of my podcast, I would like to talk about, the things people don't talk about when they're on their spiritual or healing journey, right? And that would be triggers. Now, a lot of people don't talk about, when you on your spiritual or your healing journey that you gonna be triggered. You feel what I'm saying? You gonna get triggered in the worst ways. But it's just to see if you really learned your lesson. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how do you know when you really healed and you really over something if you don't get triggered, right? Because, you might get over something, right? An example, we'll go here. You getting over a heartbreak, right? Because, everybody and their mama want to go to, like, love readings and love spells and all these other different things. We're my divine feminine, we're my divine masculine, right? But, you getting over a heartbreak. You was with your ex. And they was always on their phone, right? They wouldn't give you attention. They wasn't really taking into account of your feelings or anything like that. They overly flirtatious and all of these other things, right? Now, that built up fights and insecurity. Now you arguing all the time. So what's in your phone? Why you in your phone so much? Why you talking to this person? Who in your DMs? All these other different things, right? Now, y'all break up. Getting over them, you healing, you writing, you exercising, eating right, all that good stuff, right? Now, out of nowhere, clear blue, right? Somebody so attractive. It's a fine dude, fine woman, whatever the case may be. You like their energy, you like their smile, you like the way they feel, you know what I'm saying? They make you feel good, you make them feel good, they smell good, all of these great things, right? But now, they do what your ex used to do. Now they in their phone, right? Now, it's not really that they're cheating or flirting. They could be into stocks. They could be into, they got lots of emails or whatever. But they need to be in their phone. But to you, it's a trigger because your ex used to be in their phone all the time. So now it's like, dang, do you got to answer them emails right now? Dang, you always on your phone. You spending time with me. Now you have caused an issue where there wasn't one. You now realize that you're not healed. That is a trigger. And that's what I mean, right? A lot of us fail the test, right? Because we didn't understand the lesson. Because we didn't understand the class. I'm going to run that to y'all one more time because that was a bar. A lot of us fail the test because we didn't get the lesson. Because we didn't understand the class. So what I mean by that is we don't really pay attention to where these triggers stem from. And a lot of us, it stems from childhood traumas, maybe in high school even. So that's where you have to then go and ask yourself, where did I learn this from? When was the first time I felt insecure? Where was the first time that I felt not heard, or I was being neglected, or I felt I wasn't good enough? When was the first time I saw that, right? Or even people in toxic relationships feel like toxicity is normal. To some people, that shit is normal. They might have seen their mother or their dad get cheated on, right? They might have seen their brother and sister get cheated on, or be the cheaters, because listen, a whole lot of people come from families that's a hella players. Like, dead ass, everybody from the grandmama to the youngest cousin is a player. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just their norm, right? Or how many people have heard that I don't do females. Like, a lot of women. How many women have heard, I don't have a lot of female friends. I don't do women. I can't get down with a female friend. Not realizing that that's a trauma, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because recently I got triggered, and it kind of had made me take a step back to realize my spiritual journey and where I am in my healing process, right? So for me now, I am a female best friend, and what that means is I have male friends, right? I have two great male friends. Shout out to Jay and shout out to Greg. Like, those are my great friends. My best friend happens to be Jay. We've been best friends for 14 years at this point. But I say this to say is that for me, a non-negotiable is not sleeping with my friends. Once you the bro, once you the homie, you the bro, you the homie. That's it. That's what it is. But there are some men and women, because, you know, we not finna pump fake and act like women ain't out here doing it too, right? There are some men and women that will sleep with their friends. Like, first of all, that's headassery to me. I'm not finna do that. That's, no, hell no. Okay, no. But there are some men and women that are out here that do that, and because of that, that causes an insecurity or a trust issue with men and women that choose to date these type of people, right? Now, recently I got triggered, and I was triggered because somebody from my past decided they wanted to come back. It happened to be one of my old high school best friends, and I was triggered in a way where I was like, yo, my gangster is really being tested, because what the fuck, right? So boom. In 2016, my best friend, ex-best friend now, but my best friend had chalked me. Like, I'm talking no contact, like totally ditched me for a girl he just so happened to be dealing with at the time. Now, me and this guy had only been best friends all throughout high school up until I transferred, and we did everything together. But the way this man talked to me, you would have never thought we was bros. You would have never thought we was homies, you know? We was like Ace Booney since freshman year. But the way in which he contacted me about it, or like cut me off about it, I was confused, because in my mind, I couldn't process why he was cutting me off. Like, I couldn't register in my mind what was going on. You feel what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, don't call me. And I was confused, because I was like, what? Now, at the time in 2016, I was going through some shit. Okay, I was going through some things to where that kind of jump started my process of realizing that, yo, something is really fucking wrong with me, and I need to address it. And then about 2018 is when the healing process actually started for me. But it was the prerequisite in 2016, right? So I couldn't fathom why my best friend was talking to me like this, right? This 2016, we graduated 2013, so some years had passed, right? Now, the reason being is because he was unfaithful to his girlfriend. And his logic was, well, because I haven't been making her feel the most confident and secure with me, but I want to be with her, I'm going to cut off every woman in my life that isn't her, in hopes that it will make our relationship last longer. It didn't, but that's neither here nor there, right? So, to me, I couldn't fathom or process why that happened, because I was just like, what? Like, we're friends. I didn't understand that. So I had to get over that. I had to grieve that. I then had to process life without my best friend, so to speak, right? And then in 2018, fast forward 2018, he reaches out again. This point, I'm hot. Like, I'm tight. I'm like, oh, I go the fuck off. I'm like, yo, fuck you. Like, we'll never be friends again. Like, I go clean the fuck off. And then ditch him. Blocked him, right? Fast forward to 2022. March 2022. He reaches back out again. Instantly, I'm triggered. I want to go off again, because I'm like, ooh, how quick do we forget? How quick do we forget how you did me? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I was your friend. You know, we never crossed those boundaries. We never crossed those lines. Like, his parents knew me, sister, everybody. Like, we was cool. Like, we was literal homies. So I was like, I couldn't fathom or process why that happened. So instantly, within his message, it was really just stating how wrong he was. And I was like, yo, I wanted to smoothly go the fuck off on him. And to a degree I did, but more so in a sense of, I don't know how clear I was the last time you reached out to me, but let me make this the most clear I can possibly make this. We will never be friends again. Because how quickly did you forget? Yes, some years might have passed, but you don't know what I had to go through in order to get over what you did. And for me, it's not really what you did, it's how you did it. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know how old people say, it's not what you say, but how you say it. I don't give a fuck what you do. I care more so about how you did it. Because I would have had much more respect. Or I would have, respect, but I would have accepted what happened gracefully had it been done tastefully. And what I mean by that is having respect for the fact of the history of our friendship, the fact that we were friends for so long, in the depth of our friendship back in high school. Because I mean, how real friends can you be in high school? You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't really live life yet. But saying that is to say, I could have accepted the fact that, you know, he wanted his relationship to work. But if he would have been like, you know what, listen, you my homie, you been my homegirl since high school, you know, I fucks with you heavy, but I got this girl, I really wanted to work, and she ain't really comfortable with me having female friends, so listen, you can't call me as much, you know, like, we might have to slow down on texting, or whatever the case may be, we might not be able to chill, right? But you still my homie, but I really want this relationship to work. I could have accepted that. I could have took that on the chin. But you don't get to hit me and then tell me it didn't hurt. Yeah, you might have hit me, like you might have threw the punch, but you don't know the impact that was. You don't know how hard that hurt because you weren't on the receiving end of it. So I was instantly triggered, like, yo, like, my man's is really serious. I was like, all right, bro, listen, I'm gonna humor you. I'm gonna give you what you came for. But understand something, like, no, this ain't that, because I don't want a friend like you. I don't want somebody that's manipulative, that's shaky, that's flaky, and do this, that, and the third, because you only got one time to show me who you are. You feel what I'm saying? So then he goes to respond, and he like, yo, you know, you bringing up, you know, everything that I did wrong to you was kind of unnecessary, because that was the whole point of my message, is saying this, that, and the third, and like, yeah, like, I understand you ain't gonna forgive me, but damn, like, that was stupid, but you know, it is cool. I see ain't nothing here left, you know, of our friendship. That's crazy how you just throw it away like that. But you know, it is cool. I'm going to just be grateful for the fact I ever knew you as a friend. Oh, when he said that, I was mad. I was hot. I got the thunder thumbing it up. I was like, who the fuck are you talking to? Now, mind y'all, this is where I got triggered, and this is why I say this. This is the part of the healing journey people don't talk about. Because, remind y'all, I told y'all he hit me up in 2018. I was over it then. Oh, I went clean the fuck off, but then I made peace with it. I made peace with the fact, like, yo, this ain't what it is, and this is a friendship I'm not going to have anymore, and that's okay. This is not a friendship I'm going to take with me into adulthood as much as I thought I was. That's okay. But I at least had to let this person know that I'm going to bleed for the last time about this. This is the last time I'm hurt over this. I'm going to feel away. You know what I'm saying? That I'm going to let it get to me. I made peace with it in 2018. You feel what I'm saying? So, after... Because I typed it. Oh, I typed my message. I said my little shit. And then I sent it. But as quickly as I sent it, shout out to Instagram, I unsent it. Because it registered to me that, hey, listen. If I'm addressing him, my friend, right? I'm addressing my friend. Then I've already made peace with this. I've already grieved this. I've already processed what this is. See, in 2016 it happened. That's when I got bruised. That's when I got hurt. That's when the pain happened. So from then 2016 to 2018, I had enough time to process it and have my last grievances and then bury it. I buried it in 2018. 2022, I'm over it. It's dead. You feel what I'm saying? So do I forgive him? For sure? Because, I mean, I don't care. But forgiveness does not necessarily mean access. And I said this to him. I'm like, listen, do I forgive you? For sure. You've been forgiven. That's been that. You've been forgiven. But forgiveness does not mean you regain access back into my life, because I do not want a friend like you. You feel what I'm saying? And it was only then when I unsent my message that I processed that, listen, I'm over what this person did in this situation. But the way in which I responded was from everything other people have done to me. See, he wasn't, from 2016 to 2022, he wasn't the only person that had done something like this to me, to where I got chalked and you know, played for whatever the case may be, or people just ghosted me for whatever reason they chose to. He wasn't the only one. So there were still situations and circumstances and different people that I was still grieving and processing over, that were wounds to a degree, because some things are wounds and other things are bruises and open cuts. You feel what I'm saying? So some of these things I was still processing. I was just like, what the fuck? So I was preparing to respond and react and go clean the fuck off on this person I had already forgiven and buried a situation and made peace with. So then I took a step back, I unsent the message, and then I blocked him, because I was like, I meant what I said when I said I don't want a friend like you. You feel what I'm saying? So although I couldn't process what was going on at the time, I made peace with it to say, listen, it is what it is. In 2022 is when I got the response where he said, hey, listen, I wasn't really faithful to my ex-girlfriend and this, that, and the third, but this is what happened. Did they stay together? Obviously not. But I did not want that friend. I didn't want that friendship because I was like, it serves no purpose to me now. I've already had to adjust to living life without you. I'm okay. I'm fine. And I hope you fine too. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is where I say shadow work is important. Now, for those of y'all that don't understand what shadow work is, it's in my terms, is when you address when you first felt this way, where you first picked up this trigger, so to speak, to say, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or oh, I'm stupid, I'm this. The negative self-talk, so to speak, right? And that's going back to when I say a lot of women can't do female friends. And when I hear that, I understand it because I understand where the trauma came from. A lot of women didn't have good relationships with their grandmothers, or they didn't have good relationship with their mothers, or they didn't have good relationship with their sisters or their aunties, because the women in their life were supposed to protect them, to nurture them, to assist them into the next steps into womanhood, but instead neglected them, felt that they were in competition with them, belittled them, and wound them. So now that is a trauma to whenever they get close to a woman, another female, in the sense of, oh, let's be girlfriends, let's be homies, like, let's be girls, you know what I'm saying, sisters, and then they fall out in the most craziest of ways. That's because they haven't yet dealt with the trauma of what was caused back when they was younger. You feel what I'm saying? And once I understood that, I was then able to process how people's projections didn't belong to me, right? So I then accepted how people are. Now, to me, I've had somebody ask me, they was like, well, do you give second chances? If, because what if somebody changed? I was like, oh, see, that's the thing. I don't care. I don't care that you change. Everybody is meant to change. I hope that somewhere along your life you realize that what you was doing and how you was doing something doesn't exactly work anymore. I don't really care if someone changed, because you didn't care how it infected me when you did what you did. Again, I don't give a fuck what you do. I give a fuck more about how you did it. You see what I'm saying? And the how is where you got me fucked up. And so you get a version of me. You feel what I'm saying? When you first meet me, you get the most authentic version of me. And when I say the most authentic, I give you everything on the strength of it just being you, that I want to fuck with you. I want to get to know you. I want us to be friends, or I want to date you. You get that version of me off rip, like off top, clean, just on the first hello. Like, the saying, you got me at hello, like that be me. You got me at hello. But once I see your ways, once I see how you so quick to ditch me and throw me to the wayside, oh, I'm going to eat that. Like, I have to accept that. I got to take that on the chin. I gotta bite that bullet for sure. And it's going to hurt. Oh, I'm going to cry in the car. For sure. I'm going to go cry in the car. But once I get up and I dust myself off, oh, it's over. Because see, now I gotta shield up. I gotta wall up, because see, now I see you, and now I don't trust you, and now I'm looking at you different. I'm looking at you with whole new eyes again, and it's like, whoa, I don't really know who this person is. I don't really know if I rock with this person for real. So for me, if a person changes, congratulations, for sure. And because I'm a different breed of person, you feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna hear you out, because I have respect for what was. You feel what I'm saying? I have respect for what used to be, because if I really meant something to you, or the relationship or the dynamic in which we had, whether it was a friendship or relationship or whatever the case may have been, if you truly gave a fuck about it, how you go about doing something when it comes to me says a lot about you than what you think it does about me. And again, that too is a trauma response. So it's like, let me hurt this person before they hurt me. Let me push them out of my life before they push me out of theirs, type shit. And again, once I made sense of that logic, I was then able to process how people move. So I'm gonna hear you out. And depending on what you say, because again, it's not really what you say, but how you say it. But the way in which you move and how you talk determines if I extend grace enough, right? So I seen this lady on TikTok where she was a guidance counselor, and she was talking about how she addresses her students, right? And she was like, are you a puppet or are you a puppet master? And I thought that was so deep, because when she made the analogy, she said, okay, if anybody can say something to you and it invokes an emotional response out of you, then you have just become a puppet to your emotions, and your emotions have now controlled you, right? But if you are the puppet master, then you then control your emotions and then decrease your chances of making an emotional response to a temporary situation. And when I heard that, I was like, God damn. Okay, because listen, a lot of us in our big grown ass ages, okay, because I'm soon to be 27 for 19. Shout out Aries gang. But listen, once I processed that, I was like, wow, a lot of us do not have emotional intelligence enough to understand emotional management. And me being an Aries sun with a Sagittarius moon, listen, I contemplate jail at least once a day. At least once a day, okay? So I then really stepped back and recognized where I was in my spiritual journey, because I have been triggered, and a lot of people do not talk about triggers during the spiritual journey or the healing journey per se, because it's like, oh, well, I'm doing my baths, I'm doing my rituals, I'm saying my affirmations, woo, 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 and now I like my own peace. I like my energy. I like being by myself. I like the seclusion, but it's like you still got to go out there. You got to deal with the world. If you got a job, you got to deal with people. If you got your own business, you still out here dealing with people. So you still have to have that societal connectivity in order to really evolve as a person, because how do you really know you're growing, evolving, advancing, healing, whatever the case may be, if you don't get triggered? How do you know where you are? You feel what I'm saying? So once I took a step back and I was like, you know what? I've already forgiven this person. I'm already over it. I made peace with it. It's dead and done to me. But the fact that they even came back to even say, yo, I want you in my life. Again, you were a big part of my life. We were best friends. I yet didn't understand how badly they hurt me. Because truly, if our friendship really mattered, it wouldn't have been so easy for them to throw it away, right? But how quickly that happened. So for me, that was a trigger for me, because it was like he wasn't the only one to do it. So that trigger for me was like, wow, like I'm that friend that people have no problem tossing to the wayside, that I'm easily replaceable. That's a trigger for me, but that's a trauma to me. So when this person came back, I was like, oh, how easily we forget. But the same way I was judging him, I turned around and did the same thing. Even though I unsent the message, I still responded. But I immediately caught it and was like, all right, bring it back. Run that back. That ain't you no more. You ain't there no more. That's not you. You responded from when this person did this in 2018. You responded from when this person did this in 2019. You responded from this when this and that person did this in 2020. You responded in a way of this, and this person that did that in 2021. But you've already forgiven this person. So let it ride, let it die. You feel what I'm saying? Listen. Spiritual healing, spiritual journey, healing journey, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. It is not for the weak. It is not for the weak. And the reason I say that is because you're going to see and meet parts of you that you thought you was over, you was done, you was healed from, you got over it, whatever. Because some wounds you don't recognize are there until they've been touched, right? Some wounds are paper cuts. Deadass. You never know you have a paper cut until you rub some alcohol on it. Or you put some hand sanitizer on, or you go to wash your hands and then it's like, ah, shit. Now it burns. Now you got a little red spot on your finger. Then it get to itching when it starts to heal, and now it's an annoyance. Some triggers aren't big. They're so subtle, and they make the hugest impact at times, and then they only show up when you take notice. Unexpectedly. But now you ain't got no choice but to recognize it. And that's what the spiritual journey or healing journey to a degree does. So if you're questioning where you are in your spiritual journey, or you're questioning, are you really growing? Are you really evolving? Address your triggers. Think of the last time you've been triggered and how you responded to it and what you could have did differently. That's the lesson. That's the lesson. The test is the trigger. The lesson is how did you respond. The class is self-mastery. And a lot of us fail the test because we didn't get the lesson, because we didn't understand the class. So, I'm going to leave y'all with this, because I fucks with y'all. That you are actively positioning yourself to receive all of your blessings. You are actively positioning yourself to receive all of your blessings. You, over here, listening to this podcast, yeah, you too. You are actively positioning yourself to receive all of your blessings. You dig? Because when I shine, you shine. And we shine together. And please, let me remind you that you are a rare breed, limited edition version of yourself. So by all means, disrespectfully raise the price up on you. I appreciate y'all for listening in. Until next time, peace. And I'll see y'all on the next podcast. Later.